click on record. There we go. Absolutely, Dylan. This is exactly what the session is all about. It's for you to ask some questions on the assignment and for me to sort of guide you along. So let's just review where we are at the moment. So this is week of the 27th. And this is our second collab session. And next week, just remember, I will send you the link for the national support session that Kim will be running on assignment 1. So our next session after this, there's quite a bit of a gap between the 28th and then the 25th. But I will be posting some other material in the meantime, sort of in between Easter and after Easter and so forth. And we will stay in touch that way. We also do have the WhatsApp group as well. If you're on that, to post questions on, and I generally do respond on there as well. Taylor, trust you. What is appendices? Number 6 on the assignment. Appendices are just any additional information that you want to add in, graphs generally, or pieces of information, tables possibly that you want to add in to your, or maybe a picture or a graphic that you want to add into your assignment. So you can say refer to appendices 1 or appendices 2 in your writing. Does that make sense? Yes. Great. So let me just check in with you. Things going on a scale of 1 to 5. 1, it is, I've just registered. I'm still struggling to find my feet. I don't even know where the book is. I don't even know what is going on. I'm so stressed. 5 being, yeah, no, this is cool. I'm here. I've done this before. This is my final year. I've got this thing waxed. I know what I need to do, etc. So give me a sense between 1 to 5. How you guys are going? How things are going? It's a very broad question. It could be your personal life or it could be work. My specific question is related to sort of the work. Dalen, you've got a question. So my only question is question 1. I'm not sure if they're using inside out or outside in for naked because, well, when I'm looking for examples, I see aspects of both in the case study. Okay, I'll put a pin into that one, Dalen, and we'll swing back to that question. It's a very good question. Oh, you selected. Okay, you're not allowed to say well. It's an anonymous poll. So, Mister, yes, try reselecting. There's 6 people which haven't responded yet. I'm not going to call you out. Alrighty. There we go. That's what it looks like at the moment. You guys can see the responses on your screen, yes? So there's 1 or 2 5s and a 4. So guys, I am available on, especially this week. I've got a bit of, we've got the full-time campus guys have a week off this week. So if you do have any issues, please do just drop me an email or drop me a WhatsApp on the group. It's always good on the group because there's always a great way of being able to collectively share sort of ideas and everybody else get to see the question because they might have thought it was a silly question and they didn't want to answer it or didn't want to ask it. So yeah, alrighty. So that's where we are. Okay, cool. So Dalen asked a very interesting question, and Dalen, there's no right or wrong answer. I know that doesn't sound, because instinctively you think there must be. I mean, it must be either one or it must be the other. It can't be. It must be one or the other. It can't be. It must be. But it can be if you look carefully at the evidence. For me, it is not about it's not about choosing the right one. For me, it's about you choosing one and then using your knowledge of the theory, using your understanding of the theory, saying why you've chosen that one. Makes sense. Now you can stick it into ChatGPT and you can most probably get an answer, or defend an answer. Um, but it's about answering the question, selecting the information. So always a good way of starting a Dalen is to say that based on the information contained in the case study and additional research, um, this author is of the opinion, or I am of the opinion, that Naked follows the inside-out strategy because of these reasons, or they follow outside-in strategy because of these reasons. So for me, it's not about selecting the one or the other. For me, it's about how well do you understand and have a grasp on the concept of outside-in or the strategic link, and how well can you, based on information, how well can you answer and defend a particular position. Yes? Semester, you've got a question with reference to question 1. Do we need to provide info from our further research to support your answer? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm looking for. The case study is not sufficient to answer these questions. And a good answer contains not just references from Naked. And this is where the clue is, Dalen. It's in looking at its peers, looking at other companies, looking at other short-term insurance companies, and the industry as a whole, and then making a decision on, or making a sort of almost a call on, how does the industry operate? How do they approach strategy? How does Outsurance approach strategy? How does Santam approach strategy? How does Mutual and Federal? How does King Price, etc., and so forth and so forth? So that is where your additional research is valuable, and your understanding of the theory. Make sense? Any other questions? Awesome. Any other questions, guys? Aaron? All right. So as I'm busy talking, you guys might think through questions. So this is the format of the report. So, and this is where the tension lies, because it is a report, but it's also an academic piece of writing, and you have to balance both. You have to balance the two. So it's Arial 12, 1.5 spacing, normal margins, 3,000 words total, excluding references. So I'm giving you an extra 500 words, which is roughly about 20% of the total word count. And the way you use those words, the word count is up to you. Okay. Taylor, you've got a question. Hi, Theo. It may be a silly, but I just want to confirm the links and the source in the assignment. We can definitely use that information and add those references. Absolutely, you may. Absolutely. Absolutely, you may. I've also given you guys some information as well. I think I've actually given you, under more resources, there's an article there on inside and outside, creating shared value, examining the win-win. Prelat in Ham, Porter, What is Strategy, Mintzberg, Porter, Creating Shared Value, Kramer, Strategy in Society, Captain, The Balanced Scorecard, Data Technology, Dynamic Capabilities, The Management Revolution, Template for Integrated Reporting and Guideline. Okay. There's a very good article on inside and outside in and inside out strategy, and the strategic link, which I would encourage you guys to go and find and read as well. And again, there's these wonderful tools. I've showed some of my full-time students some of the tools that are available out there. There's a website called MapDuce, which I'm also beginning to use. I think it's called MapDuce like that, or it's MapDuce spelled like that. Um, Deuce, MapDuce. There we go, MapDuce. Um, and this is literally a website where you can upload a PDF and we'll give you a summary of the PDF in like, 500 words and the key points in the PDF. So there are all these tools which because of the AI revolution which is developing, which you guys can use to help you with your research and to help you write this assignment. Okay. For references, in-text is allowed but not included in the word count. That is correct. Yeah, 3,000 words excluding references. Semester, there is this is where things get a bit gray. So here's one that I've been using, MapReduce, which helps with reading through PDFs. But I mean, ChatGPT 4 is very good. You can literally go to a web, you can find an article, and sometimes the article needs to be paid for, and you can copy the link and you can copy it into ChatGPT and you can literally ask ChatGPT, please give me a 500 word summary of this article. Um, and it will give you a summary of the articles. Or you can say, give me 5 main points from this article, and you copy and you paste the web link of the article in ChatGPT and we'll give it to you. For those that have access to chat, to Bing Chat, I've been using Bing Chat quite extensively. It's some amazing tools out there. And this is important. I had this conversation around ethics and sort of the nature of these AI tools to my full-time students today. And I said to them, I'm of the opinion that these tools should be used. They shouldn't be shied away from. You shouldn't turn away from them. They should be used, but in such a way that it helps you create a better and write a better essay. It shouldn't be used in such a way that you try to let it do the work for you so that you don't have to do the work. If you use it as a tool, the same way you use Google, many of you go onto Google Scholar, you type in a search term, and you have a bunch of articles. What is wrong with going to ChatGPT, type in a search term and say, give me the 10 best articles that have written in the last 10 years on the subject? You know, or give me a summary of this, or give me a description or a 500 word description of this particular concept with a reference or references attached to it. That is using the tools that you have available to you in order to deliver and create and really write a better assignment. So please do access these tools, go and find them. There is quite a lot of YouTube videos on how to use these AI tools for academic research, how to use them to help you summarize stuff, how to use it to help you format your assignment, and so forth. So definitely, I'm of the opinion you must use these tools in order to create, and because you still have to know the work. How do you know that the answer that ChatGPT is giving you is the right answer or not? You don't know. You only know if you know the work, if you have read the textbook, if you understand the concept. Um, Again, Aaron, this is how I see it being used. So you can go to ChatGPT and you type in, you put in your copy in the question, the assignment question, and you say, give me a framework or give me a breakdown of how to answer this question. It will then give you a breakdown of it. You can then take that and then go and use that as your basis for your research. You still have to do the work. You still have to read through your textbook. You still have to go and read through the articles. You still have to work through how you're going to write it and what you're going to write. So think of it as a calculator. You get a sum, and you still have to know the formula to type into the calculator, but you're using the calculator in order to assist you to do the sum. And that is how I want you to approach these AI tools, because it will be silly of me to think that students aren't going to use it, um, because students will be using it. So it's just a matter. I'm here to guide and say that there's an opportunity to use these tools in a way that will help you write a better assignment. But don't think for 1 minute that you can use these tools to write the assignment for you, word for word, because there's a good chance that you will be found out. And especially for you guys that in your final year, you don't want to be expelled in your final year after having put in all this work for all these years. Make sense? Absolutely, Taylor. As use it as a tool, use it as a guideline. Ask it questions. Ask it to help you do the research. Ask it to rewrite a passage for you. Ask it to define a concept for you so that you can better understand the concept. You put in ecological. There's a funny thing in chapter 2. What's it? Biosphere integrity. You put in biosphere integrity as it relates to organizational strategy into ChatGPT and ask it to better define it for you, and find website references where you can learn a bit more about it. How is that different from going to Google and typing the same thing into Google? Make sense? Absolutely, Dylan. And that is where the tension lies. You won't know it's the right answer if you don't know your work. Um, Aaron, the exams are normally out of 120 marks. And you guys are going to have to come onto campus to write that exam. So it's a sit-down exam this year for you. Right. Cool. So let me, with the last few minutes, you guys can still please keep on jotting down questions on the side here. So let me go through what I would like to see your report looks like. So Arial 12, 1.5 spacing, normal margin, 3,000 word total excluding references. Please, your cover page. Your cover page should include something to this effect. This report was compiled by your name and student number and presented to the board of directors at Naked Insurance upon request of blah, blah, blah. Just have a look at the actual assignment, how it is phrased. So that is like something onto your front page, onto your cover page. Then a table of contents. Make sure that you have a table of contents, please. This is a report. And then question 1 on a new page. And question 1, you can use subheadings. You don't even need to write question 1. You can just write Naked's approach to strategy, or Naked's approach to strategy. And you can use subheadings. Please, I like subheadings. Subheadings also tells me that you've really sat down and you've planned out your answer. You've planned out how you want to frame your answer. So subheadings are a great way of showing that. And then on a new page, a question 2. And again, you don't need to write a question 2. You can just say naked mission statement. And then question 3. And here you can just write shared value and inclusive business. And you can use subheadings as well. Dalen, you got a question? There's also an article on one of the news channels where they were speaking about the danger of AI because it can lead to a lot of false information and how it can affect society. Absolutely, Dalen. Absolutely. I was watching an interesting video clip now the other day on YouTube, and the researchers that has been researching this thing it's absolutely fascinating. How they go into depth about how they know how it can be used, how they know the programming that goes into it, but they actually don't know how it works. There's like a black box, and they can't see inside of that black box. So there's some fascinating things. This is like cell phones. This is like the internet. This is like this is huge. This is massive. This is going to disrupt every industry that we're in. So this is especially knowledge work. I was watching Microsoft, how Microsoft was using AI in all of its tools. Now, all of you use Teams, all of you use Outlook, all of you use Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, um, and how you integrate. I mean, there was one example in which they were using Outlook, and uh, you can literally ask it. You can write a few rules, and you can say, "Please read all my emails and give and send emails in response to it." You know, except where it's required, where I have to input it. You can literally open up the email and the AI will write a response. You can look at the response and go, okay, no, that works for me and send. Or you can change it, or you can add to it. And after a while, it learns how you write and how you respond to emails. And after a week, it will literally start writing emails for you. Imagine how you can get through emails in the morning, get through 50, 60 emails in like no time. So a lot of it is going to change the way we work. A lot of it is going to change the way we create things, the way we but think of it as a tool. So we've either got an option to fight against it, or we have an option to embrace it and say how can we use it as part of our day-to-day lives. But there are dangers, absolutely. So as part of a report doesn't normally conclude with a conclusion. It concludes with recommendations. Um, yeah, no, Bart isn't the best. Bing is a bit better, but there's a whole bunch of them. So so we end off a report generally with recommendations, and you'll say in your recommendations section. So your recommendations is like your conclusion, and in there you will relate all of the stuff that you wrote in question 3 and question 2. So it will be like for the mission statement question, you'll say something along the line of, after evaluating the mission statement of Naked, we recommend that you include the following phrases in the mission statement in order um, to make it more impactful or to create, etc., etc. After evaluating and reviewing your approach to shared value, we recommend that you do the following in order to be a more inclusive business, etc., etc. So those are the type of stuff that I look for in the recommendations, because that's sort of where you wrap things up. Oops, I didn't include the introduction here. So it's table of contents, introduction, which is written last, and then question 1 and question 2. And each one of these on a new page, please. So introduction starts on a new page, question 1 on a new page, 2 on a new page, 3 on a new page, your recommendations on a new page. All right. Any other questions on the formatting of the assignment, on what to include in the assignment, and so forth? All right, semester. So for recommendation, is there anybody here from Group 6? Please tell me there's somebody here from Group 6, because I did send that note. Please tell me. I send a reminder with the link online session. Yes, thank goodness. Anybody here from Group 6? Anybody on here from Group 6? Semester, I'll do the recommendations again. So for recommendations, instead of a conclusion in a report, you write recommendations. You'll say, like for the you'll say these are the recommendations after a thorough review of the mission statement, the organizational strategy of NACED, the mission statement, as well as its approach to inclusive business. We recommend the following. In terms of its approach to strategy, we say that it should follow instead of an inside-out approach or outside-in approach for these reasons. We don't have to repeat the reasons because we already made the case. In terms of his mission statement, there are certain parts of the mission statement which is not blah blah blah, and we recommend that you include issue or you include something about stakeholders in the mission statement. In terms of inclusive business and shared value, we recommend that you do the following. Da, 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 da. So those are the type of stuff that I'm looking for in the recommendations. Again, you've got a 3,000 word limit, so be sparing in your wording. Okay. Dalen, as for the conclusions, we have to do like a recommendation. Okay. Alrighty. Makes sense? Now that I've explained it again, Dalen? Awesome. Great. Anybody here from group 6? Let me just double check. Are you guys all from group 2? Okay. Thank you very much, semester. We shouldn't really have long sessions because then it's just me droning on and repeating the same stuff. But it would be, okay. Dalen, if you look at VC Learn, you'll see there at the end of it, it says term 1 and then GRO6 or GRO2. Good stuff, guys. I appreciate your time this evening. The session, we don't need to conclude after each question, just at the end of the report. Taylor, it's good writing to have some sort of link between your questions. So you'll end off with like question 1, you'll end off something along the lines of, we, based on the evaluation, it's an inside-out approach, blah, blah, blah. And based on the evidence in the case study and presented, blah, blah, it's an inside-out approach. However, we recommend that you follow an outside-in approach for these reasons, blah, 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 blah. The next section will deal with the mission statement in terms of naked, blah, 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 blah. And then that sort of hands it over to the next section. Question 2, you'll start off with the previous section dealt with the approach to strategy. The section will deal with Naked's mission statement, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of that, you go, after a thorough evaluation of Naked's mission statement and making recommendations of it, the section that follows talks through Naked's approach to inclusive business, blah, blah, blah. So you hand over, you link each section with the next section. So there's flow. And that's the important part of it. Good writing means that the sections flows together and it reads like a story. There's like a golden thread that runs throughout. So you kind of almost have to pick a theme for it. So if your theme for the entire report is naked, easygoing, simple, straightforward, to the point, then that's your theme. The type of wording that you'll keep on repeating, the type of and so forth. So you kind of you build and you scaffold and you link the sections together so that they sort of flow together, and it reads like a story. And that's good writing, but that takes time, and it takes not just energy, it takes multiple drafts and an external person to read through it for you to for them to be able to read through it and go, okay, no, it's starting to make sense. I don't expect that high level of writing, academic writing from you, but it's something you can strive towards. It's something you can move towards if you want to. But it does take time. It means multiple drafts. It means asking somebody else to read it, asking them to give you criticism, and then taking that critique and rewriting it, and then reading through it multiple times. And that takes a long time. It takes a lot of work, and you kind of have to balance it out. I've got 2 assignments. You guys are doing research. You guys are doing other things as well. you kind of have to balance it out. I'm going to spend, you know, a day and a half on this assignment. I've got another assignment and so forth. How much time can I really spend? And sometimes good enough is good enough. You know, sometimes good enough is good enough, and you just have to let it go and support it, and off you go, and you move on to the next assignment. All right. Guys, thank you very much for those that have signed on this evening. I appreciate your time. And please post questions on the WhatsApp group. Email me if you're getting stuck. Yeah, we'll connect again in a month's time. I know it's quite long, but I'll send you the link for next week's national support session. I will post things sort of over Easter, past Easter, and the week after for us, so that you stay connected to me, so that it doesn't feel like I'm too far away. But please use the WhatsApp group as well as a means of just connecting with each other as well. All right. Awesome. Have a great evening. And I will, yeah, see you guys on the group, on the WhatsApp group. And I will also, if you do need anything, you can just email me as well. Great stuff, guys. Cheers.